Hey mates, how's life behind bars? Not these bars, but these bars. Before I get started, check out the new merchandise. These are different to the ones I had last time because look, if I press the button at the top, we've got highlight, we've got low light, and then we've got flashing light. Isn't that good? And not only that, we can actually take the LED out, unplug it, and stick it into a USB drive to charge it up. Or we can use it as a little light in our hand as well. These are on the website now, so get clicking so you get yours. I've got lots in stock. Oh, and not only that, look what else we've got. We've got t-shirts. Yeah, it's just a random number, okay? But anyway, we've got nice t-shirts, we've got a nice little, check out the guns. We've got nice little tags there. We've even got a bike thing in the collar as well. We've got string tags that come in proper packaging, nice quality, small, medium, large, extra large, and double XL as well. This what I'm wearing right now is an XL, just so you know, which is quite a nice snug fit. So it's well, I wouldn't say it's that snug. It's just a nice size on me. Let's get started talking about the brand new plug and play Emblems. So if you remember about 8 to 10 months ago, I made a video. I made 2 videos actually. I'm probably going to remove those videos just to try and save further confusion, because if you invest your time into watching them and then you watch this, you'll realize, hang on a second, that's a bit different. But I'll put those videos, not the links to them, but I'll put those videos so you can see what they were. Now those were based on the emblems that are manufactured by a company in the Netherlands. No point in mentioning names, but a lot of people say, oh, it's the same thing we've got here. It's not identically the same. So now the emblems that you buy on my website, they all come with plug and play plugs, which connect directly to your EasyCan. We also only used to do the 70mm diameter emblems. We now do 68, 62, we do various sizes. I can't remember what they are off the top of my head, but on the actual listing, a link down below, I'm going to be populating more and more bikes that are all compatible with the range of EasyCans, including the Honda as well, which is here, because we've got the emblem for the Honda, which I believe is a 62mm emblem. In this video, I'm going to show you how easy it is now to connect it all up. So if you're wanting to have an emblem where you just connect it up to the OEM wiring on your bike, potentially voiding your warranty, well then you can just cut the plugs off and do an old conventional connection up to your bike. But for this, I've just fitted it to this full plug and play. So when you order on the website, you'll see that you can select just the emblems, and then you can select the emblems with an EasyCan and also a T3 wiring harness with extensions. By having the emblems like you see here, and the T3 wiring harness, and a couple of extensions, you can literally wire these emblems up onto your bike without cutting a thing. Obviously, having the relevant EasyCan to go with your bike. Full plug and play, guys. Yep, full plug and play. And the amount of time that I spent with so many customers over the last 8 months where they bought the conventional emblems, not everyone, but a majority of people have been struggling with how to connect it all up. So we've had to go and do this. So the bike to my right, it's not all been put back together again at the back because I need to redo it and configure it, especially for the customer's specifications. But this one's a bit of a special job because not only have we put the emblems on here, but we've also put T3s on the handguards as well. Now the beauty of this whole connectivity we've got going on here, plug and play, is that I haven't got one here in my hand right now, but we also do a T3 Y splitter. So by using these and a T3 Y splitter and another pack of these extension harnesses, we can then literally continue the path of the T3 harness, connecting to the emblem and then Y splitting off and following a path to the T3s on the handguards. So you can do that as well. So I'll put links down below so you can see exactly how you can buy the T3s with the front guard if you want to. I'll tell you what, I'll put a basket link down below so you can see how you can obtain emblems with an EasyCan with all the relevant wiring and also the T3 switchbacks on the front handguards. But if you're just wanting to go for emblems, well then I'll put a link down below for that as well. So it's EasyCan and emblems with all the relevant wiring, so it's completely plug and play. Now, as you can see from the video that I'm showing you, the bike is already stripped down and we are starting to fit all of the things in place for the emblems. Now, if you want to see that video of how to strip a bike down, because we haven't got enough time to do it in this video, a link up above, how to strip down a GS. I'll also put a link up above how to put your GS back together again. I'll also put a link up above so you know how to strip down your GS Adventure and also put your GS Adventure back together again. I've done those videos over the last couple of years, so you've got the full lot there to get you sorted. So as you can see, I'm putting all the wiring harness in. The EasyCan's already in place. I've connected that to the battery. I haven't programmed the EasyCan at this particular point in time, so I'm literally just plugging everything in. So on the T3 harness, you'll see that you've got a brake. So for this instance, we're not using the brake connection to the EasyCan. You've got a DRL connection to the EasyCan, and you've got a right turn and a left turn to the EasyCan. They're the three that we're plugging in for today. And the reason we're plugging in those three is because I want to create a white DRL on the T3s and the emblems, so they're going to mirror each other. And then when we indicate, it's going to flash amber. I'll also show you at the end exactly how we can configure the software in the EasyCan so we can have an amber DRL and have an amber flash. So I'm hoping this video here today is going to overlay nicely with the video content I did yesterday, which I didn't put any audio to. So hopefully you can see from this video how easy it is to take it all apart, to take the emblems off the panels. You'll see that the way I do it is a bit different to how the instructions say in there. The instructions say take it off with a bank card, but on some of the models it's very hard to get a bank card behind the emblem because it's slightly recessed in like a dipped area of the panel. So what I do is, as you can see here, is I drill a small hole at the back just to create an area where I can get something in there to leverage the emblem off the panel. So you get alcoholic cleaning wipes actually in the box. But if you want to, you could add on a great big bottle of our cleaner, which is alcohol based. Yes, it's expensive, but this is the stuff. This stuff just is expensive, but it's also a really great cleaner that you can use in your bike and your visor and all sorts of things. People say great things about the cleaner, which is made by Ceramic Pro. And following the instructions and using the little chopsticks that come inside the pack, it helps you line up the LED disc so you can definitely get the emblem back on nice and straight. And for some of you with K1600s, S1000 XRs, which is a slightly smaller emblem than what you get for the GS, it's a 68mm, you actually get a replacement emblem in the box because the emblem actually isn't removable on those bikes. So you have to use a brand new emblem, but the emblems that come in the box are just as good a quality, hence why the price is a little bit more expensive if you are buying your emblems for an S1000 XR or a K1600. Okay, so I'm going to go DRL to the white circuit, and as I've said before, I always squirt this into every connection. Left indicator into the red circuit, and then the right indicator, right turn, into the blue circuit. These two here, they are if you had rear T3s. So we're not going to be using any rear T3s on this installation, but if you were, then we'd connect the brake MT plug to the EasyCan and use all 4 circuits, but we're not going to be using that. So we're just going to leave the rear T3 plugs unused and tuck them up under here. So this is just excess harness for the front T3s and emblems. So we'll tidy all that up towards the end. Okay, so let's now connect up the front part. Also, with the Emblem and EasyCan's kit, you get the extension wiring harnesses for the T3s. So you get one for each side. Now I've actually had to put another set of T3 extension wires onto the Y splitter, just so we've definitely got enough slack here coming out of the side. I do advise that in the description that if you are going to be putting T3s and emblems together, then add on another set of extension wires. Now, not every GS has the bars there, and I know with the GS Adventure it's a completely different one. We take the bar off, but this does just about slide behind. But you can see what I'm trying to do here. I'm going to slide it behind here, plug this in, poke it back in behind the panel. Quickly double check it before I put it all back together again. Perfect, T3 on, Emblem is on. Pretty much the same here. I've put another extension piece on the Y splitter. We're going to slide the piece on, plug it in and poke that back in there. So there we are, all plugged in. Plug and play, plug and play. Okay. The reason they're a different colour is because I haven't actually programmed the EasyCan yet. All I know is that there's power going to it. So let me talk you through the programming. So now it's all put back together again. We need to plug the EasyCan into the laptop. Once it's plugged in, you'll see all of the 4 circuits pop up on the screen. You can just ignore everything because we're going to reset everything. You'll see on this bike I've set the blue and red as the turn signals, and I've set the white as the white DRL. The yellow circuit, I've set that to run a couple of D4s at the front of the bike down here. Now, if you were wanting to run your D4s in a Gen 2 fashion and have them turning off when you indicate right and left, well then you'd need to purchase an extra EasyCan and daisy chain them together, because we've only got 4 circuits on the EasyCan. This customer has actually said no, he wants to have them on 1 circuit. He doesn't want them switching off because, as you can see, the distance between the D4s and his indicators are quite far apart, plus he's got the extra indicators on his handguard, so he doesn't want these switching off when he goes round corners, which means we can use 1 circuit and then the other 3 circuits are going to be for the Emblems and the T3s. I hope that makes sense. Now the next challenge is, if you don't have 3 circuits to spare, well then if you want to, you could use just 2 circuits by unplugging the DRL. This would give you turn signals, just turn signals. Now the settings that we've just done on the EasyCan show that they will only flash when you indicate. But as you can see on that setting, if we slide up the DRL intensity from 0 up to 30, 40, 50%, let's say, well then that will give us an amber DRL. Now it will do that right now, even with the DRL plug plugged in. Now, the only issue is, when you look inside the plugs on the indicators, the right and left turn signal on a T3 harness, you'll notice it's got 1 pin, which basically means that's the positive. Because inside that harness there's ground going around that harness, but it doesn't come from there. So the actual T3 harness, the T3s, require the ground, the actual DRL plug to be plugged in, because that's where the ground is. So if we unplug that, we're losing our ground, which means it's not going to work by just having the turn signals plugged in. I really hope you're following me, because it's very difficult to explain, but it's very simple, really, when you look at the diagram of how it's all put together. So if you are only going to be using 2 circuits, so this is only for you, if you know you only can use 2 circuits and you are happy with amber DRL with an amber flash, we're going to unplug that DRL, so we've got 2 plugged in, but we need to take the ground out of that T3 harness somewhere. We need to open up the harness, take out a black wire, doesn't matter where you do it, just take out that black wire and connect it to a ground bus anywhere on the bike, anywhere on the frame. It has to get ground going in there. If you wanted to do a really neat job, you would open up near the EasyCan on the plugs on the T3 harness, take it out there, pull out the pin and plug the ground pin into one, not both of them, just one of those turn signals. Because once ground is in that, once ground is coming from the bike and going into that T3 harness, it goes right through the T3 harness. I hope that makes sense. Now the instructions in the pack, it still shows that if you want to connect to your OEM wires on your bike, you can do that. It's on the very last page. So for instance, let's say you want to run 1 circuit to your Emblems, so you're going to run the white DRL. so they're going to glow white as you're going along. But you've got no more circuits available to run the amber indicators. So what we're going to do is, by looking on the back of the emblem, you'll see that there's a green wire going into the tiny little white T3 plug. All you need to do is cut that green wire off and then run a wire from there and take that direct to one of the positive wires on the back of your turn signals. That way you're going to have a white DRL with amber indicators, but only using one circuit, but the indicators, you won't be able to set intensity of the indicators, and you're also splicing into your OEM harness. So this is the reason why I wanted to bring this product to the table, only exclusive through a bike thing, is because I'm fully aware people don't want to be splicing and cutting into their very expensive BMW motorbikes and Honda Africa Twins. Yeah, keep it plug and play. Actually, I just remembered, do you recognise this? If you've got Denali pods, this would have come free inside your box with your Denali pods. Now, to get to that ground source inside the T3 harness, so we can actually get ground into it, we can always plug that in. Doesn't matter about these, just cut them off, wrap them up, whatever, and then that is your earth strap, which you can put somewhere else on the bike to connect ground into that T3 harness. Tell you what, I'm going to do that right now. I'm unplugging the DRL just there. So now the indicators will not work at all because there's no ground going through the turn signal plugs at all. I'm now going to take this, plug that into there, because the top pin on here, the actual top pin as you look inside the plug, that is the ground. So we're going to plug that in. There's the ground wire now. Now it doesn't matter if these touch because there's no power going through these. Yeah, this is all part of the harness. It's not coming from the EasyCan, it's going to all the lights at the front. So there's no power coming back down through these wires. So now what we're going to do is basically find a ground source for this. So I've soldered that to there. I'm going to insulate that as well, and then I'm going to take that either directly to the battery, obviously cut it to length, or take it to a screw which is going into the framework. So there is the ground wire coming out of that DRL harness. You can see it coming under here. I'm going to tuck it down there so you can't see it at all. It's going through around under here and connecting to the battery just there. So when we turn the ignition on now, if I put the camera onto the emblem down here to turn it on, we've got just the amber DRL. And obviously I've programmed that indicators to run as a DRL as well at 40%. So when I indicate right, they get slightly brighter to 100%. And when I turn that off, we're back down to 40% again. So that is a setting we're going to have it at for daytime and evening running light. And obviously notice how the T3s will do exactly the same. Hope this video has been of benefit to you. Has it helped you decide whether you're going to get these emblems on your bike or not? Please leave a like, leave a comment, and if you haven't already, you really must subscribe. Stay safe behind bars, and I'll see you in the next video.